You know how it is. You're scrolling online and you're just hit with this constant flood of expert advice, right? All these quick fixes and miracle cures. But what happens when you actually try them? Well, in this explainer, we're diving headfirst into the madness. We're going to be the guinea pigs for the internet's most questionable advice, so you don't have to.
And we're not kidding. We are about to turn our lives into a series of, well, increasingly ridiculous experiments. So please, consider this your one and only warning. It's about to get weird.
It always starts so innocently, doesn't it? You're just scrolling, and then bam, you see a claim like this. And suddenly it's everywhere. Some fitness guru is swearing by it. The promise is amazing, the method a little weird. But this is just the top of the rabbit hole.
And then you stumble upon this gem, and you just have to ask yourself, who was the first person to think, you know what I need? Onions in my socks. And how on earth did that catch on? The internet is just a relentless stream of this stuff, flooding your feed. And that's the big question, isn't it? The one that keeps us up at night. What if all this viral wisdom is just nonsense? We're here to pull back the curtain and find out. We're going to scientifically and, let's be honest, comically debunk these wild claims. So yeah, our mission is pretty clear. We're going to face this avalanche of absurdity head on. We're not just here to laugh. Oh no. We're putting these things to the test with our own special brand of very serious comedic rigor. All right, let's get into it. Our very first case study. We figured we'd start with a classic from the wild world of fitness fads. So get ready for our first, and I promise you, absolutely disastrous experiment. So the claim is as bold as it is salty. These internet experts, they claim that all that sodium is going to dehydrate you just enough to magically reveal those chiseled abs you supposedly have hiding under there. You know, it sounds just plausible enough to be really dangerous. Our method was simple and direct, and frankly, a terrible, terrible idea. We got our hands on an alarming amount of pickle brine, followed the instructions to the letter, and then we just waited for the magic to happen.
So what happened? Oh, it was an absolute, unmitigated disaster. Let me tell you, there were no instant abs. Not a single one. Not even a hint of an ab. Just a very, very unhappy stomach and this deep, profound sense of salty regret. The only thing we walked away with was a very important lesson in what not to drink first thing in the morning.
But hey, one little failure wasn't going to stop us. Oh no. For our next test, we decided to really up the ante, moving from the merely questionable to the truly, truly bizarre.
Yep, you heard that right. The theory here is that putting sliced onions in your socks overnight will somehow purify your blood and bring you good fortune. The complete and total lack of any scientific reasoning whatsoever made it the perfect next challenge for us.
Our test protocol was, of course, meticulous. We got the freshest onions, sliced them with the precision of a surgeon, and tucked them in for a long, fragrant night. Honestly, the hardest part was figuring out how to measure an increase in fortune. How do you even begin to quantify that?
The result was, and I say this with 100% scientific certainty, a spectacular fail. There was no winning lottery ticket, no finding 20 bucks on the street, no sudden surge of good luck. Nope. Just a bedroom that smelled like a deli and a pair of socks that, for the good of humanity, had to be ceremonially burned. Okay, so beyond the smelly socks and the salty regret, there's a really important takeaway here. These trends go viral because they promise easy fixes. And let's face it, we all want to believe them. But that's why it's so crucial to stop and think before you jump on the bandwagon. And this is really the heart of it, right? The internet promises us instant abs and amazing luck. But the reality? The reality is usually just a really bad time and a pretty funny story to tell later. This viral wisdom is, for the most part, just total folly. So what can you do about it? Well, you can arm yourself with a skeptic's toolkit. First, question everything, especially if it sounds way too good to be true. Before you try a new viral fad, just remember that a lot of these things spread because of hype, not actual evidence. And always, always remember that online experts can be just plain wrong. And look, this is why it all matters. Being a critical thinker is really your best defense against all the misinformation out there. So we'll leave you with this. The next time some bizarre hack or life-changing tip pops up on your screen, just take a second,
pause and ask yourself if it's real wisdom or just another folly. What trend will you question next?